Hello. Good evening, Grace Community Church. My name is Connor Park, and this is my testimony. My dad used to say there are two things in life that you cannot escape: death and taxes. I didn't really care about taxes, but death terrified me, even as a kid. Growing up, my sister had told me about a lot of things: sin, hell, God's wrath, and I felt it. I was scared of it. I felt the burden of my sin. I tried to be good. I tried to do the right thing, but every day I kept falling short. I couldn't fix myself, and after coming to this conclusion, if this was my only life, I wanted it to be the most fulfilling one. I wanted to do the thing that would be the best thing possible for me. So, in elementary school, I chased everything: grades, awards, and reputation. But yet, no matter how much I achieved, it was never enough. I was a kid that grew up in church. In 6th grade, I went to a church retreat, and I heard the gospel for the first time. I heard what Jesus did for me on the cross. I heard the whole story. I cried, and I even thought that feeling emotional was just enough. I understood the facts, so I thought I was okay. But when COVID hit and church went online, it exposed my faith had no grounding, and I stopped showing up. The negligence towards my faith led to living a double life in high school. I went to church on Sundays, I had Bible verses on my walls, and I emotionally sang praises, and yet I was a completely different person throughout the rest of the week. I knew every fact about Christianity. I genuinely understood that Christ died on the cross for sinners like me, but my life looked nothing like it. James 2 says, "Faith without works is dead," and my faith was dead. Indeed, I knew it. My junior year, at another retreat, I finally asked an older brother, "I know all the facts, but I don't feel saved. I don't know if I'm going to go to heaven." And he said something that changed everything. "If you truly believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for sinners like us, you live by it." This time, there were no tears. There was no rush of emotion. I simply believed that it was true. And that's when I realized for the first time in my life that my motivation for living had not been God. It had always been me. I wanted the benefits of Christianity without actually giving my life to Christ. But no work of mine could ever pay what Christ did already paid on the cross. The cross wasn't a reward for my sincerity. It was a rescue from my failure. For so long, I kept putting it off. But that night, I finally stopped. And for the first time, I prayed to God to save me. And I meant it. I really did believe in that moment that the God of the universe loved me so much that he sent his only son to die in my place. And when that became real to me, not just a fact, but something I actually believed, everything shifted. My heart and my life were finally aligned. And I found reading the Bible for 5 minutes before school, actually wanting to get to know people at my church, and even praying before a meal, it became a joy because it reminded me of who I was living for. I was not living for myself, I was living for Christ. And this transformation is because, as Galatians 2:20 says, "I've been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." I realized that the goal of my life was never just to escape hell or to live for my own selfish desires. It was to live completely for God. I no longer wake up asking what I can achieve or how I can be recognized. The emptiness I carried my whole life that no grade, person, or reputation could ever fill is gone. Regardless of your age, if you do not know Christ today, hear this. I tried to fulfill myself with what the world offers, and yet it left me empty every time. It wasn't until Christ saved me, not for anything that I did, but in spite of everything that I did, that I finally found peace. Thank you.
Connor, it's a blessing to hear how the Lord has worked in your life, even being challenged by somebody. And it seemed to wake you up, and the fact that you had a desire to really take the Lord serious in your life. And we're so excited to see how the Lord's going to use you in your college years and in the future. Because you're a profession of faith, Connor, it's my joy to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.